Hi everyone, I'm Michelle from Studio Noel, and today I'm thrilled to be in conversation with Margaux Marshall from MGX Digital, an SEO agency that brings you closer to your customers. So we've worked with Margaux for a long time, and she is the founder and managing director. They provide white hat SEO services such as technical SEO, on-page optimization, content auditing, reporting, website migrations, and international SEO. We're talking to Margaux today about how search engine optimizations and brands intersect. So we'll be exploring the crucial strategic alignments between these two elements that can propel your business to new heights and open up new opportunities. So I'm really excited to get started. So without further ado, welcome Margaux.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's really lovely to speak to you. So we work with Margaux on SEO on lots of different projects over the years, and it's been really fantastic for us to learn about this ourselves in our studio, but also really understand this. And I think one of the things, Margaux, which I think you've really brought to light for me, is about the relationship between SEO and branding. And I'd love for you to just explain a little bit more about your perspective on this.
Yeah, I think merging branding and SEO becomes a powerhouse as opposed to doing them in silo. If you have a great brand and great branding, but you're not doing SEO, then you're really lacking on something on your brand awareness aspect of it. But if you're only doing SEO and you've not got the branding to support it, then you might lose some conversions and your traffic might be lost. So I think really, oh, sorry.
No, go for it. I was just going to ask, you talk about the fact that the traffic might be lost. What do you think the reasons are? Like when you go to so obviously you're pulling in the inbound links into your website. What is it that you feel that branding needs to support that?
Yes, I think when I say that the traffic might be lost is that, let's say we managed to get you 1,000 visitors to your site, but your branding lacks depth, for example, or visually things aren't tying up. When that traffic arrives to your site, it doesn't instill trust.
Yeah.
So with that, then they might just leave thinking, well, you're not an authority. You might if your logo isn't super clean, there's so many different touch points that you look at when you first visit a website that makes you think, yeah, I'm going to trust that person. They're not a robot. They know exactly what they're doing. They're an expert. So therefore, I'm going to contact them or buy their product. I think you and I both have gone on websites where you start reading and you're like, who are they? And I think the visuals behind it and the brand really helps you have that sort of initial, that first opinion of, okay, yeah, I can trust them. So having the brand to support your SEO efforts means that, okay, that 1,000 people that you've brought to your website, well, they're going to read the content, they're going to feel secure, and then they're going to say, okay, I trust them and I'm going to call you. So it's going to have a massive impact on your conversions,
Definitely.
and the overall success of your SEO strategy.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's something interesting about if you are spending this effort of putting all this time and resources into SEO, you want to make sure that you're actually converting those leads, don't you? Rather than wasting that money or that valuable time which you've put into content strategy.
Yeah, totally. You want to reap the benefits of that, 1,000 visitors. And I think branding goes beyond that. And SEO goes beyond that. With that first touch point, the people that come to you through SEO might have never seen your brand before. So it's that top of the funnel brand awareness exercise. And by having having had done a really good branding piece where you've done your tone of voice, you've done your logo and your imagery and everything else, you can then put that out to on your emails, you can put that on your socials. So someone comes to your website through SEO and then they want to find out more about you. So they go through to your socials, or they might sign up for an email. And by having a really strong brand, all of the touch points should all look the same. And again, it's about increasing that trust and not losing any potential leads just because, something looks a bit odd, because I think a lot of people are very quick to say,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't trust this.
Yeah, exactly. Can you explain for the people who aren't that, I suppose, a little bit unsure about like what SEO involves? It'd be really good to get your understanding and your insight into how you would actually go about explaining that to somebody and what the impact of that is.
Right. Okay. So what is SEO? It's a myriad of things. It's an
Yeah.
ecosystem of your website. So first of all, you've got the website, and then what I call technical SEO. So, in how one of my clients always say, he says, you're looking under the bonnet. We're making sure that the engine's, well oiled.
Yeah.
So that's the code. It's how quickly your website loads. It's all making sure that you don't land on broken pages. So it's more the mechanical side of a website. So that all needs to be polished. Then you have the content strategy. So now we're looking at words, looking at articles, blog posts, and it's all driven through what your target audience is, like what their problems are and how to solve them. So you would create content for them to help them, and that's how they would then find you. So we've got technical SEO, your content SEO, your strategy, and then there's how you present the content on the website. So how it's structured, having headings break up the content, having images break up the content, everything that is uploaded, you need to think about how do you upload it, what's the image file name called. That is all little micro optimizations, micro changes that will help you go up the rankings. And then there's also offsite SEO, which is getting links back to you, social media and all of that, but we focus mainly on the site, technical and content.
Fantastic. And it is a myriad of lots of different elements, because I know just from working with you on past projects, there's lots of areas which you consider. And one thing which I've always found really interesting is obviously the technical SEO, which is built into the background of the website, but also then the content strategy which you're coming up on is helping actually feed other people's content elsewhere, which is really, really nice. So it's not just about SEO, it actually helps build this ecosystem of content which you can start utilizing everywhere across your website, from things like email newsletters, social media posts. That's the really fantastic element, I think, of this, is it helps everything as well. And if you were to talk about like how optimizing for search engines like helps impact your brand visibility and perception of your brand, it'd be really interesting to get your thoughts on that.
So SEO, the aim of doing SEO is to get you to rank on the first page of Google.
Yeah.
So as soon as you rank on the first page of Google, that's an element of brand visibility. You're getting your name out there.
Yeah.
And then it's, you have to think, right, when someone clicks through to your website. So by ranking on the first page of Google, already there's a trust element there. Again, we're going back to that trust. So by ranking on the first page, you think, okay, well, these people must be good because they've made it up there. So then once you click through, then that's where the branding carries the customer through the rest of the journey. So I think with SEO, the other aspect of it is that we're really focusing, when we're going back to that content, we're really focusing on showing your expertise. And that's what Google likes and users like, right? If you're going to read something, you want it to come from an expert. So working on SEO, it's like showcasing your expertise, and that will get you up the rankings. And you just want the brand to reflect that, the expertise that we managed to sort of filter through in the content.
And what top 3 tips would then you give to brands like embarking on an SEO content strategy?
Top 3 tips?
Yeah, that would be really good, interesting to know.
I think the first of all is to clarify who your target customer is. You really need to, get that customer at the forefront of your decisions. Don't think you know, about your content, don't think about what you feel like writing about today. It shouldn't be that. It should be, what's your customer going through today? What's your potential customer going through today? What's their problems, and what can you, like, what solutions can you provide for them? And I mean, always related to your services. Yeah, it should always be related back to your services. Otherwise, we're going to end up with quite a lot of like random content on there. But once you have that, and so you've got your number one thing, so really have a clear idea of who your customers are, what their problems are and their issues, and then from there do some keyword research. So that would be my second point, so that what you actually write about is specific and related to keywords that there's volume to as well, so that you're not just writing about, you know, a problem, a very specific problem that's so specific that you might only get 1 or 2 users to your site. You want to sort of get the right balance between traffic, specific content, and helping your users. So yeah, doing the keyword research around solving problems, informational content is the second part. And then the third part is actually creating the content. Then it's how do you create it? So make sure that it's helpful. Giving information for free, which I know some clients like have found at first, they were a bit like, why am I telling them how to do it? Well, then they like, you know, they wouldn't need me, but actually being really open with that information is another way to show expertise and instill trust, and then getting that conversion. So, you know, showing examples, case studies, quotes, all of that really help in the content creation for you to have a successful article. So they're my top 3 tips. That's fantastic. And I think what's nice about it is it actually plays into your clients' pain points anyway, and what their challenges are. And the nice thing is that it can filter through in everything. That's what you should be answering in your proposals and things like that. So if you've got real clarity on your SEO strategy, I think it helps in multiple different ways. I agree. And then I suppose that one of the interesting things at the moment is I've noticed more and more people talking about AI, obviously, and how they can use it for content creation, especially like in search and building out like things like blog articles. How do you think this is going to affect like the landscape of search? Oh, it's I feel like we're in a bit of a tornado or hurricane at the moment. There's been an algorithm update, which is, you know, really pushing down AI generated content. We're seeing, you know, there's colleagues in the SEO realm that are doing tests, you know, have created websites fully created by AI, like supported with AI for the content, where they've not touched anything, where they've ranked quite well, got traffic, and now they're just being pulled off. So how AI at the moment is shaping search, it's there's so much moving, and I think Google now is trying to make sure that people that are just using AI to create your article and publish it, that's not going to work for you. So it's really using it as a tool. It's a great tool for the brainstorming, for maybe getting that first draft, getting over the sort of, you know, blank page aspect of it. But you do need to spend a lot of time editing it to make sure that you get that tone of voice in there, that you get that, you know, specifics, case studies that's specific to you. Is there any, you know, any trends that you can put in there that the tool wouldn't have generated? But I think for me, the exciting bit, or what I'm more nervous about, it's not how. There's a lot of talk about how to use AI to create content, but actually for me, it's the other side, is how people are starting to use AI to search. It's interesting, isn't it? Like we've noticed a big trend in that. And that is what, in a way, is going to, it's fascinating me, is a societal change of, you know, we've been using Google for 20 years, and, you know, I think our people now, instead of just going to, you know, AI for generating content, you're also asking it for answering information. And then it's the question of like, well, how do I become visible through generative language AI tools? So I think for me, that's how AI is going to change the SEO world, is that we're not just going to be looking at SEO in terms of optimizing for Google, but also how do we start optimizing for these algorithms,
AI.
well, these
Yeah,
AI tools.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've noticed a really big trend as well of people telling us that they're using it for searching for things as well, because obviously if it can sweep a huge amount of information and can give you the top lines, it's fantastic for streamlining down your time and spent on things. So that's interesting. It's great to see that you've had a similar experience.
Yeah, but there's for me, there's a lot of warning bells at the same time, because just having that one answer, sometimes it's not correct. You know, at the end of the day, these generative AI tools, like language AI tools, it's just a statistical algorithm to see how likely is the next word, the next word in a sentence is it to be. And it's like sometimes the answer you get is not factual. It's not, you know, Michelle from Studio Noel, an expert in branding, giving the answer. It's an AI tool that's just generated the answer. So for now, I would say tread carefully if you do use it as such. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how these tools evolved, and also how our job evolves with it.
No, definitely. I think, thank you so much, Margaux, for joining us today, and also for like imparting your expertise. I think that's a really nice place to end our talk as well. There's obviously some really good, valuable takeaways there as well, and for people. So if you'd like to get in touch with Margaux at MGX Digital or learn more about their services, check the links in the description below. And to our audience, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like Studio Noel to explore further, please drop a comment in the section below. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.